dalgaları karşılayan gemiler gibi gövdelerimizle karanlıkları yara yara çıktık. Rüzgarları en serin, uçurumları en derin, havaları en ışıklı sıra dağlara. Hey, hey, hop, hop, hey, hey, hop, hop, hey, hey, hop, hop. Dostların arasındayız, güneşin sofrasındayız. Dostların arasındayız, güneşin sofrasındayız.
Good morning, everybody. Today I'm going to talk about total organic carbon and conductivity in pharmaceutical grade water systems. The content of my presentation will cover conductivity, TOC analysis, a bit about validating a TOC analyzer, and then I will talk about one of the instruments we have brought with us here today, which is on the table over here, PAT 700 TOC analyzer. So first of all, some talk about conductivity. Can you hear me okay? You can hear me? Yeah. Okay, so conductivity measurement in a water system is effectively a measurement of the ionic activity in the water. Compounds, when they're dissolved in water, will dissociate and break into their ionic form depending on how much energy you put into the water system. So these compounds are breaking into their ionic form and recombining again, and when they are in their ionic form, they can allow the water to carry an electrical current, and that's how we measure conductivity. So for instance, sodium chloride is made up from, of course, Na plus and Cl minus in their ionic form, and these can carry an electrical charge in the water. The more energy you put into the water in heat